10th birthday, he said he's supposed to be 11 years old before you can carry papers, you know. And there was 9, almost 10 years old. So he went out and got me one of these little, kind of a book like that there. They kind of had this little snap cover on it, kind of made out of paper mache or something like that. I don't know, it was kind of cardboard. It opened up, and there you had a pencil in there, and you had crayons in there. You had a little pencil sharpener like you gave me here, just a little flat one. A pencil sharpener. And oh, boy, was that nice, you know, there. So here he says, the youngest carrier we ever had at the time at the Democrat newspaper office. So that was the youngest carrier they ever had in 75 years.
And a darn good one, too.
End of story. Well, I really didn't break. When you break it, the bone kind of cracks. So I dislocate. It means the bone, the muscles coherent, and the bone just shoots back past the muscles here. Your whole big bone will shoot 6 up of that far past, and dislocation. Well, it was Halloween Eve, and
And you were how old?
14. I was 13 or 14. And we were supposed to go to a party at somebody's house, and boys and girls there. And the girls at a party, yuck!
You know all about that, right,
Sure.
Nathan?
So I said, not me, I says, I'm going out with the guys that we're going to do a trick-or-treating. And
More
so,
tricking.
We got a whole, some guy got a whole bunch of onions, small onions. So we got over one yard here, we threw them over to one house, one another guy's house, and he went on his roof there and got on his dinner there. We threw a bunch of onions over there, and pretty soon the guy came back to see what the commotion was, so we ran around the house there and kind of get away, like, you know, I don't know if you do anything or not. We were hurting nothing. And so we came around here, and there's a door, the cellar door came out flat like this to the ground. There's a big wash tub out there, like that great big wash tub. Stand up right like this here, and I can run around, and my elbow came right down on the edge of that wash tub, and pop my arm out like that. It kind of hit your crazy bone, call it crazy when you hit it, you know, I'm numb. So I come on, boys, I hit my crazy bone, whoa! And my arms were like here. I said, hey guys, we'll pull us back in with. Well, they didn't know nothing. No, he didn't touch that. He didn't pull back in. So there I was like this here. I come home, it's about 10 o'clock at night. Here I was here, carrying my arm like this here. What happened to you? I said, pull my elbow out here. She gets on the phone, she calls up the doctor, and he had an office downtown, Dr. Osborne, Tampa Bank building, about the 8th or 10th floor. So he went down there, and the old guy, he must have been 70 years old that time, maybe older. He put a big sandbag on my shoulder there, and he said, okay, kid, he says, it's going to hurt a little bit. And he goes and he pulls that arm out there, and I pulled the way out here, he had to pull it back about 2 or 3 inches to pull it out.
Ouch.
And then go back in again, and that didn't feel too good. And then he put it in a cast, he put a thing, not a cast. It was a cast. Oh yeah, it was supposed to be a cast or something, because he wrapped around my thing around like this here. So for 4 weeks or so, I went around like this. And then 4 weeks or so, he took it off there, and there I was, my elbow was like this. I couldn't open it up. So I had to go, like this. That was like, I had to go and take and push my arm down like this, all the way down flat, like that, and it hurt. And then I had to pull it back like this here and do that for about 2 or 3 weeks there. And I never did get it quite back all the way. See? It never bothered me. It's, if I hold the telephone up here too long, I kind of get an ache right down there, but it never bothers me. I have with baseball and golf and everything. It doesn't bother me. You know, this will keep my elbow because I want to go to a birthday, to a Halloween party where they had girls. We used to more, this is different time, this wasn't the same year. It could have been maybe a year later, a year earlier. Anyhow, we used to take these spools of thread, you know, with no thread on them. And we used to take a little penknife or pocket knife and kind of put notches around the top of the spool and bottom of the spool. Just got little notches around the spool. Kind of had a knob on there, and the spool was right here, and the knob here, see? We used to cut little notches there in the leather. Then we just take a
Pencil?
a pencil or something up the center of that thing there. And oh no. Then we wrap some string around the spool of thread there, and then we put a pencil or something through there and wrap the spool of thread on there. Then we take it, put it against the window there, and you pull this here, these are knobby ends, goes against the window, hit your window there, and we're scaring the heck out of people inside, see. They come out and really what was going on. Another thing we should do, in those days nobody had screen doors like we do. They had screen door, but they didn't have storm doors. And there's the doorknob was there, and so we got broomsticks like that. We tied a piece of rope on the end of the broomstick. Then we got where the door handle was, we wrapped this rope around the door handle, tie it there, and stretch it across the doorway there, and then knock on the door. They tried to open the door, they couldn't open the door, see? Because the broomstick was kept the door from coming open. That was funny, we thought. Then another time, we got up outside church, they were having a meeting there, we got some more broomsticks, and those days the cars had the wooden wheels, or had wheels with wooden axles, wooden spokes. So we'd take a broomstick and stick it to the back wheel, one on the back of the other there, and kind of tie it to the spoke there. The guy got him to try this car there, and he couldn't get going anywhere, because one wheel was a turn, the other wouldn't, see? They couldn't go nowhere if they got one of those kids, and then they could take a knife. It didn't hurt nothing. And then we'd pile a bunch of leaves in the street. And then we'd pretend we had a rope. And then we had a car come, and two guys would be leaning this way, and two guys would be leaning that way, pretending they had a rope there, and the leaves are in the car, we stopped there, we laughed, because there was no rope there, we just pretended we had a rope, see? Just a bunch of leaves there in the road there, hiding the so-called rope. We had fun.
About your pheasant hunting experience when you were 16, Dad?
Well, the pheasant hunting always opened on November 11th, Armistice Day, and you couldn't hunt until noon, till sunset, or a half hour after sunset. And so we just took off from school. All the farm kids did it, and everybody. So we just took it as a Friday. We took Friday off. So it was Thursday. We took Thursday and Friday off. It's only a 3-day hunting trip. We go to northern Iowa, Doherty, Iowa. A 3-day hunting trip. And this year, one year, the year I remember the most. It rained that night before. It rained the night before. Really heavy rain. And then it got cold. And the roads weren't too bad up there. We had to drive up north there, about 150 miles north. But we'd get up there, and we'd generally get a room above a tavern or in a farmer's house or something there. This year happened to be above a tavern, or a restaurant and tavern combined there. And we had some rooms upstairs there. We come down and eat breakfast and supper and stuff like that, and take some bacon sandwiches for lunch. Anyhow, so we goes out hunting we go hunting this day, and boy, was it cold. We had these just cotton gloves on, our hands were cold and frozen there, and we go walking. Those days, they had hunted in cornfields. Corn was a big deal. They had to pick it by hand those days, not like the machines they got now. And in between the corn is up on hills like this, and in between there is kind of like a little valley there, and we'll skim of ice across there, and the water down in there, and we pumped down there, and our feet got wet, and our boots got wet and cold. The ice started building up the hill there, and I always carried a hunting knife with me. And they kid me carrying a hunting knife. So, you never really might need it. So I took the knife out, and I chipped the ice in my boots. Hey, Charlie, let me have that knife. And they said, yeah, they didn't make no fun of that knife anymore after that. So anyhow, we goes hunting there, and I tell you, we were cold. And a lot of pheasants, I guess, they were sleeping in the rain of the night, and they froze their tail feathers stuck to the ground. They couldn't move. And
That made it easier to hunt them.
no, you gotta see them. You know, remember they were hiding.
Oh.
So it was cold. So maybe we got one or two made up. Anyhow, so we didn't get too many birds that day. We got cold. And we hit, all of a sudden the car going from one field to another. The car heaters were too in those days, and besides we were running the motor long enough to go there, we got out of the wind anyhow. It wasn't too windy. It was cold and miserable. And we only hit shutter once. There was a little kind of a guy that had a trapper, had a little lean-to there, a little shack like this here, a Bristol dyke that had a little pot belly stove in there, and boy, that thing was red hot. It was red. You wouldn't get too close, you could burn yourself. He's throwing out his muskrat traps. He'd keep trapping muskrats in the water. They throwing out his muskrat traps so you skin them. Throwing out the animals so you can skin them and sell the fur. We stayed in there, boy, we got nice and warm and cold. We hated to leave that. Anyhow, we kind of cut our hunting real short there. We got to get back about 4 o'clock instead of waiting till sunset. It was cold and miserable. And just as we got inside the tavern there, we heard the radio saying, none but the hardiest of Iowa hunters are out today. Now, that was the same storm that we were in, or the rain that night before, but the Mississippi River, the duck hunters got into their blinds and went to the islands across the river. They had their blinds there for ducks. And winds came up, and some of the guys got swamped in the boats, they drowned. Other guys got on shore there, on the island there, and there's no shutter there. They even burnt their canoes or their rowboats and stuff to get some heat to keep them freezing. A lot of them froze to death. That was a bad winter there, and so the guys could get rescued there, but quite a few guys got died that year.
Yeah, I think you had a newspaper article about
Oh,
that,
yeah,
right?
that was the
I
worst
think I read
winter.
that.
Oh, yeah, the duck hunters get frozen to death on the Mississippi River. Oh, yeah, that's bad. You know, so we were kind of glad to get back home from that. Well, next day was a beautiful day for hunting. Beautiful day, beautiful. Got our limit of birds and everything. You're allowed 3 birds a day, and you have 6 in possession. So we came back with 6 birds apiece and 5 of those. We came back about 30 birds. And of course, if you shot a hen by mistake, we'd take it down to a farmhouse somewhere. The farmer took it up real quick there and make his meal of the hen. We also had to leave it on lay rotten there, you know, around the field. So you can put it in your bag and catch the hen pheasant. They find about 10, 15 bucks.
Yeah, I heard you were a pretty good shot.
I was a cornfield shooter. Bang, bang. Scare them up about 15 feet ahead of me, fly up, and they bust them out there like that. No, if I tried to lead a bird there, I always shot the tail off. I never would lead them on. Every bird I shot had a tail shot off.
Yeah, but what were you telling me last night, though, about you being able to shoot?
A rifle shooter.
Yeah.
A good rifle shooter. These are
Right.
shotguns.
Yeah, I know the difference.
Can't
But
do
tell me
that.
about your rifle shooting exploits.
Well, every summer we went out to Camp Cody out there, Mississippi River. Old man Seco had a cabin there, and John Snyder and Hines had one there. It was on a kind of a point in Mississippi, they called it. It was right across there. And the steamboats come across there and go out there like that, come close to shore there. And they used to put logs there. They used to get logs for the steamboats, you know, there. I told you, there's a little slough and down there on the side of the place there called a steamboat slough. We used to go ice skating there. But we take our rifles along and we go shoot the targets and stuff and throw sticks in the river and shoot them, break them in two, and throw clay birds out over the river and shoot clay birds out of the air with the rifle bullets, and throw pop bottles up in the air. We found a pop bottle and bang them. So we got a pretty good shooters we got. And one time out at Pleasant Valley there, we went out there somewhere down on the creek there, and well, we happened to pick up a marble or something. So, hey, or Larry said, hit it. Pick a marble, couldn't do it again. Pretty soon he hit it. Oh, you did. Looked around for a soon, found some acorns. There we tried. Threw them up there, and we took 10, 15 shots, couldn't hit nothing. Pretty soon we stand a little closer, threw more straight up. Acorns about the size of a marble, you know. And so we threw them straight up again, and pretty soon we got our end together, and bang. You wait until it comes up, I guess, stop working down, then you bust it, see. Still, it'd be a pretty good shot, you know, you'd be on it.
Yeah.
We got so that we can hit 3 out of 5, not at the same time. Throw one and one, miss it, throw one up and hit it. Throw one, miss it, throw one and hit it, throw one up and hit it. Yeah, so we hit about 3 out of 5 acorns thrown in the air. Good shooting.
That's very good shooting.
Good shooting. Yep. We should do a lot of that. And we'd throw potatoes up. We do mushroom bullets. We'll throw potato wrap up in there and mushroom bullet up and the potato blow apart.
Hmm.
Yeah, we do a lot of shooting. Then we take a little paper cup and put some water in it, and put some mud or water in it. Another paper cup on top of that with some water in it. And we shoot the mushroom bullet to the bottom up against the wall there. The bottom one, I had a semi-automatic rifle. I keep pulling the trigger. I shoot 11 shots. The rim is model 24. You shoot down like that, and the bottom one, the mushroom bullet makes this water expand. You shoot the other cup of water up there high, and then when you take the other bullet, hit that one in the air. Oh, yeah, made everyone trap gun. Then we would take 2 beer cans, pop cans, beer bottles, I guess. They didn't know canned beer in those days. 2 beer bottles. They were cans. I guess they were cans, I don't know.
Maybe they were vegetable cans or
Yeah,
something.
tomato cans up. And you know, we'd throw up one, and pretty soon, bang, hit that. Sometimes we'd throw up high, and we could bang, bang, hit a second time. Then we used to throw 2 of them. Bang, bang. You know, hit 2 cans out of the air like that. Very good shots. Very good shots. Came back from the war. And we went out shooting there, and a great big mason jar, quart mason jar. Threw it up in the air, and I missed that thing. Hit the ground, broke in pieces. He took a piece of the bottom up, and threw that up there, and I missed that. Finally, he threw that up there, and I hit it, and then threw the little piece up, and I hit that, and finally got my aim back again. I hadn't been shooting there for 3 or 4 years. Once out in the no man's land out there in Africa, I came across a little Italian rifle. They use what they call dum-dum bullets, so tiny bullet like that long, and there's a round corner on there. They tumble in the air instead of going like this hard. They tumble in the air and kind of throw a big hole in you. About 35, 32 caliber or something, maybe 38. Yeah, just to take a little mortar shell tube and throw it up in there and get up with that thing, fool it around. So that's another story. End of story.
Yeah, tell us about your first meat market.
Well, before I got the meat market,
That's right, tell us about Mr. Giefman.
I'll tell you about, we had store, well, my dad had first store in Denver in 1926 down in Black Hawk Hotel parking lot now. We had a store down there. And we had an old German butcher working for us there, and he'd say to his kids there, that was about 8, 9 years old or 10, "Hey kid, hast du Spitzen an den Hosen?" He didn't know what the heck he was talking about. I wasn't 14 or 15 years old. I didn't know what he was saying. He means, "Hey kid, you got any lace on your pants?" "Hast du Spitzen an den Hosen?" Another time he'd get his way over here, he'd say, "Was bist du, der Schlaf und Kopf der Brickstein?" Get out of here, hit you on the head with a brick. Well, the one day, my dad always, we had sawdust on the floor, that thick, just sawdust on the floor there, and they're all butchers, they chewed it back, put the sawdust and kick with their feet there, you know, and everybody chewed it back. And one day, someone did, that's kind of nasty, Dad, that we chewed it back away from people. So he started smoking cigars, you know, he'd light a cigar up, and so went out, and he'd chew it down the rest of the way, see? Anyhow, one day, a guy came in on meat, delivery man, living on the side of the meat, my dad. He saw my dad with a lit up cigar in his mouth. He said, "My God, Rocky," he said, look out. My dad said, whoa, what's wrong?" My dad name was Rope, they called him Rocky. "What's wrong?" He said, "Your chew's on fire." Dad just take those little stubs and they got them chewed down and lay them on the window ledge until they couldn't dry it out. Then put them in a pipe and smoke them. Yeah!
Yuck.
Boy.
Now, they were desperate.
But then he'd chewing it back, and we had a whole open touring car there, you know, and he'd be chewing it back and spell out the window, come out, and I can't hit his kids in the back seat. He said, "Hey, Pop, stop that." So then he took a tomato can. Those days, we never had the fancy can up like I got now. He took an old, it was a can opener, but just kind of a little curved thing there. You cut real jagged edge, boy, you were careful, you cut the heck out of yourself, and then you fold it back like that. So he put some sawdust in the bottom there, and then he tried along and picked it up with the lid there, and back just like that. We didn't hit the push no more. So anyhow, that was our first store there, and then
That's where you learned how to cut meat.
and then we broke the Depression, because during the Depression, it was about 1929. And anyhow, the people those days, everything was on the book. You charge your groceries, you didn't get a bill, you paid for it, and the week was close to it. Like it would be $10 or $15 bill, but $5 right. I wasn't too healthy a businessman. Used too easy. Anyhow, the factories closed down for 2 weeks, and we thought, well, they always closed down July 4th for a couple of weeks there, you know. So my dad carried on the books for a couple of weeks. They didn't pay him those days when they closed down. They didn't pay him. He just took 2 weeks off, and he went back to work. So the bills had piled up. The guys didn't go back to work the 3rd week. Joe was getting close to the 4th week. Pretty soon my dad had to cut him off. You know, when money coming in, everything going out on a paper, and he went broke. That was the Depression. Lost our house, we were paying on it. They took the car, lost his business. He had to go to the Works Progress Administration there and go on Persian Avenue, and they took bricks out there, and we repaved the streets there and scraped the dirt and sand off the bricks and pounded along the street there. He did that for a couple of weeks before he finally got a job cutting meat somewhere for 2 days out of the week. And Bill just graduated from high school, and he got a job cutting meat for 2 days a week. And Rocky, that summer he got a job cutting meat. So between the 3 of them there, and then Brother John and I had the paper out. So we came out of the Depression pretty good. And in those days, you'd get 35, if you get 20 or 30 bucks in your hand, you would open up a business. Because you would charge your meat for a week, you would charge your milk, your bread, everything charged for a week. You rent for a month, you charge it, you pay for the end of the month. There's a lot of 144 stores used to be around town here, and half of them, or 90% of them, were broke. So you find a place that had a cooler in it, and a meat counter in there, and pay the guy 1 month's free rent there to kind of paint the place up and clean it up a little bit. And then try to make it go up, but didn't make it around for 3 or 4 months. You close her down, get the hell out of there. All you do is use the 35 hours, it was just big change. You can get anything on credit those days.
Huh.
So you try stores, Rock Island, and down Pine Street and Davenport, and one day we had one up on Harrison Street, that was a big store. And then my brother and I had a small one down in Rockingham. And then I had to go back to school, and Rocky went to California, so my brother John and brother Bill took that over. And some guy wanted to buy that out, and he wanted to sell horse meat there, so we sold it to him. And later on, years later, Bob Brundello had a meat market there. They changed over to a tavern, same spot.
Really?
Yeah. Anyhow, so right across the street. right across, this is a good story, right across the street, guy had a bottling works. And he had Pepsi syrup. Very big bottle of Pepsi. He'd get these bottles there, and in those days they put BBs in the bottom there, and a little soapy water, you something like that there, you hot soapy water, then you fill them with fresh water, and drain them. Then you put your syrup in there, and you put carbonated water in there, and you had a capping machine. This guy's doing it all by himself, and one day he's taking my brother Bill across the street there. I said, Bill, he says, why don't you come in with me here? He said, I'll give you half interest in this here Pepsi Cola franchise here. In those days, a Pepsi big bottle like that, Coca-Cola was this for a nickel, the Pepsi was for a nickel like this here. Just sand and grit in the bottom of the bottles weren't clean too good, it's like that, you know.
Yuck.
Anyhow, it didn't go over too good. It was $400. We'd had a $400.
Bill turned
He
him
said,
down.
We could both, he said, get another truck. He said, we can bottle at nighttime, and the daytime go out and deliver, he says, we'd do more business. We'd done $400. We could have had a half interest in the Pepsi Cola franchise for this area.
Is that A.D. Husing today? Yeah.
Because that was back in 1936.
Yeah.
That's like 1936, and everybody, poor church mice, we'd done the money.
Yeah.
And then Pepsi wasn't going over that good. Now Pepsi's never going to make it.
Why, was Coke more
Yeah,
popular?
That was sometimes 15 or 16.
Well, was Coke more popular?
For sure. That was the drink.
Oh.
Pepsi was kind of go against Coke. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyhow, twice as much for a nickel. So then that was 15, that was summer of 15. 16. That's the summer I dropped out of school, I guess. That summer, no, they sold the place, and I went to work for, I was at my dad at Harrison Street when I was in 10th grade. And he was having a tough time making him go. He couldn't hire nobody, so I took off on Wednesdays and Fridays to help him at the store, plus working Saturday and half day on Sunday, every day after school. I was 15, 16 years old. 15, 16, 10th grade, yeah, I was 16. Yeah, so anyhow, I 10th grade there, they gave me, I couldn't get algebra because algebra on Wednesday, and then Friday the review, and I never could get algebra this day. I'm good at math, and they're good at algebra. And so I dropped out. They still gave me B average for trying and stuff like that. And so those days I was a prolific reader. I read Ivanhoe and all those classics and stuff like that. I was a good reader. My brothers were there, and I watched them do different things, added subtraction, multiplying and stuff. So there wasn't too much more they could actually teach me. 10th, 11th, 12th grade, outside taking German or some language, or I was always good at English, so I don't think I missed too much. After the war, I came back from the war after 4 years out of 5 years out of 6 years out of school, 4 years in the store and 4 years in service. I was 7 years out of school. I came back and I passed that exam to the State University of Iowa. All I had to do was go back and get my GED, so I guess I didn't lose too much. It wasn't stupid, it wasn't right, but it was good average.
Tell us about you when you opened your store then.
So then I went to work that summer after I decided I was going back to school that fall. I went to work for Keepman, but he had a store down on 3rd Street by Union Bank building, right a block and a half up from my dad. My dad's across the street, and he was across the street, a block and a half up. And one store, George Keepman. 2 boys, 7 Maury. So anyhow, I went there working for him. And my dad already lost his store. He had a place on Harrison Street. We had a butcher for him there. So I worked in there. I was making 12.5 hours a week, and I was working in the meat department there. And one day, the butcher went to lunch. The lady came in, and I was wanting some veal steak. In those days, veal was real sloppy veal. Veal round was like that big around. Real skinny bone, like his little finger there, came out the round bone there. And a sloppy veal, you had to be real careful. You had a real sharp knife to cut it. Going back veal today, those days, the farmer had a male calf. He'd nurse for 2-3 weeks, and then he'd sell it to the store, and they'd knock him in the head and skin it. Every store had veal. Every killed your veal in the back room there, little calf. Anyhow, so I was cutting this here lady a veal steak, and there's a hard steak for her to cut. And you take the saw blade and stick right between the fingers like that, and you go real gentle. You don't dare let it go like that, they're pulling the splinter. You have little splinters all over the place there. Real careful. Then you got through the bone, you stop, and you took the knife and you faced up the cut it. You know, I guess you turn on your hand, just like that. Just around your hand like that, and that way. Real easy. I had a laid out steak there, and old man gave me, he's up front there, and he said, my God, there's a kid waiting, my best customer, he came right back there. Kid, he said, what you doing? I said, lady wanted a veal steak, and I took her one, and she wants another one. He took a look at that, I said, go ahead, kid, go ahead. So, I learned that the butcher came back, that was on Saturday, he came back from lunch, so I didn't come out. That Saturday, I got Mr. Geek off on the side, I says, how much, I said, here that I knew this here kid, he and I used to go out, he was 18, I was 16, 17, 16 and a half, 17. And he and I used to go work with the heaters there and get a hamburger and a beer, so in those days, he didn't care about it. We'd have a hamburger and beer after work, get a car. So I found out he was making 14 and a half hours a week, and I was only making 12 and a half. He was a truck driver. I said, Mr. Geek, and I says, I want to raise your wages. How much you want? When you talk about kid, that's how the same truck drivers do. The kid, he's 18 years old, he says, so you're already 16. So, did he cut meat? Okay, kid, I give you 14 and a half. The butcher's called 25, 35 hours a week for this.
Oh, okay.
So the hooking kid, we tell him nothing, whatever it is. So then the butcher was going to go to California, and I asked, so I'm not going back to school. I said, I'd like to take over your meat department. Oh, kid, you can't do that. I don't know about meat. I can't. So when I told my daddy, he said, the hell with him. He said, the little place down here is Sternberg 9th and Iowa down there. So the building there empty. He said, there's no meat counter. There's a meat counter in there. Take Witzel there, it'll set you up and all that. And I'll take the big hunks of meat there, get double duty counter, display on the top and the storage in the bottom. I'll cut the big hunks of meat and give you the small pieces like a rib, and a chuck with a chuck, and the pork loin, stuff like that. They had a little grinder there, a hamburger grinder there, a whole fashion slicing machine there, and a meat block and everything, and hand saw, and I was in business.
Oh, Grandpa had his store too.
He had it in Harrison Street.
Why didn't you just go work for him?
He already had a butcher working there, and there wasn't enough for three of us there.
Okay.
So he needed another man steady. He had enough to put that next to us in school. I was going to make meat cutting there. I was going to be a merchant. So I wanted to be a merchant, so he set me up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
$15 a month for rent. The place is about big as this.
As big as the kitchen?
The place is about as long as this here. No longer in this room. Maybe shorter. And only about 12 feet wide. This is 14, 16 feet. We're at 14 wide. The meat counter was 10 feet. 2 feet, 10, 12, 14 feet wide it was. And about from that, where is it? So they called the hole in the wall. Walls were that thick. Boy, I'd cook in there in the summertime. Be 110 degrees. 98 outside, be 110 inside. Whew. Let's go outside to get cool. 90 degree temperature. Anyhow, rent was $15 a month, and this was Mrs. Sternberg. There were steps leading behind the meat counter. I had a meat counter here, a chimney there, and a meat counter there's a chimney there. Put the compressor right back in there, and that threw more heat into the building too. And the radiator underneath there, and there's a sink there, and the steps went up through the room there. But they had their home right next door. It's the annex on the other side of the house. And I used her telephone, I used her toilet. She supplied the water, she supplied the heat. Groceries, I make 25% of my groceries and meat she got, so it cost about $10 a month.
That was a sweetheart deal.
Electricity was $6 a month, that's my overhead. Of course, I worked 7 in the morning, 7 at night, half a day on Sundays, half a day every holiday except Christmas. I was only off 2 weeks in 4 years. Before Christmas I was off. I took one 3-day hunting trip back to the temporary store, and I was sick a week with the flu. I worked 72 to 80 hours a week there for 4 years. I only took about $10 a week for myself, and the rest of my gave the pop at the store there, and we went to the back door, and he gave it out the front door. People didn't see.
Oh, who was it that painted over the wall of his accounts?
Wall.
He had a wall, or you had a wall. Somebody had a wall with accounts written on the
What?
wall.
Shut it off.
Did Grandpa get mad about that? Okay, I thought there was one story about him saying, "What'd you do with all my accounts or something?" Oh, okay.
Oh, talking about sawdust before that, I think and the sawdust, that was my job to rake that sawdust out every night, rake it out and get all the paper scraps of paper and stuff, cigar butts and stuff, rake them out in a pile. I was good at that. They had a shovel for that away, then spread the sawdust out again. Then once a week we changed it, took it, threw it away, and put fresh sawdust down in the cooler too. Dad said I could change the fill out of the register there I could have. One day I was sweeping down there, and boy, I picked a nice little shiny thing about the size of a dime, nice gold piece.
Wow.
$5. Boy,
Whoa.
Pops, look what I got here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Uh-oh. Give me a penny.
I
That's $5. I don't know how the hell you could lose $5 in those days. $5 is like 50 today.
Oh, yeah,
Jeez.
or 100.
It's small. Like a rupee, it's smaller than a dime.
Really?
Like half dimes. Even half dime in those days too. It's smaller than a dime. Half dime.
Wow.
Sheesh. I can keep that.
Okay, so you had your store for 4 years, right?
Then I closed it down.
And you made about $100 at your peak.
Well, last year I was turning about $100 a week
The
there.
same thing.
80 hours, no help.
Yeah.
Oh, then Pearl Harbor came along. No, first with the draft.
Okay, well now first of all, the whole war story, I'm going to let Brian
Oh,
take.
I'm just talking about the story yet.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
The draft came along. Talking about war, the draft came along. I was 21, so I had to register. But I asked them if I could get deferment for a year because I had 2 brothers in the service, and I was the last boy home. They said, sure. You wait until January of next year to get deferred. Meanwhile, that January 21, and that I was almost 22. Pearl Harbor came along December of 41, you know. So I was already 21 in January of 41. December of 41, Pearl Harbor came along. Bob, they took Bob. Larry had bad ears, so he went down to Trinidad, working on the air base down at the Construction Company. And I got
Was that part of the war, or was it a civilian job?
Yes, that was a civilian job.
Okay.
So I got deferred for a year. But meanwhile, they were gone. So that was January, February, March, April. All meanwhile, I sold the store out, closed it down a little bit, make it popular. Yeah, downtown, I always wanted to have ice creams. I don't know why. Somebody had ice cream store there. I thought ice cream store in the middle of winter is a fiasco. Didn't cost me no money in rent. The guy took out the pinball machine money and stuff. Only money I didn't make. I rented for 3 months. So frost in the windows, the heat was any good. Fiasco. Didn't make any money. Didn't lose any money. Just lost 3 months of my life there. So I thought, oh, the hell with it. So then I joined up. So that's what we call a handcuff volunteer. If you're drafted, your Army serial number begins with a 3. If you're enlisted, it begins with a 1. So I said, as a handcuffed volunteer, I would have had to go on it anyhow at the end of the year, but I could have waited till January that year, but I
Yeah.
enlisted in April instead.
When you were 22.
Yeah.
So you want
Well,
to...
still 20, yeah, 22, yeah. 22.
All right.
Came back at 25 and a half.
All right. So, do you want to continue your whole war stories with Brian?
That's enough.
Yeah.
You say it.
Okay, that was part 1 of Charles Golick, the formative years, up to the age of 22. And part 2, his war stories, his war exploits, will be continued by Brian down in Texas later on. That's all for now. Bye.